up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. As you can see in the title of this video, I do want to talk about something on the more serious, upsetting side. Since I have more of you guys now, and since I've done my story video months prior or before, I wanted to remake it. I wanted to remake the video, or I wanted to do a redo video or a newer video. I wanted to come back on here to let a lot of you guys who are new to my channel, I wanted to let you guys know a little bit more about my life. So it's going to be a very touchy video. So if you do not like any type of abuse, whether it's assault, physical, sexual, please just get off this video, go watch a different one, go watch another one. So let's jump on in. So I was born in Colombia. It is down in South America. I don't know much about Colombia. I was never really taught about Colombia or where I came from when I was growing up. My adoptive parents never taught me anything, and I would ask and I would never really get told anything. It was very just quiet throughout my whole life. When I was 13 years old, I was molested by my adopted father. He molested me for 3 years, and I was touched by my brother. And fast forward to 2025, we're in 2025 now. I do not have any conversation with him. I reached out to my sister a few days ago and I let her know that I loved her. I still think about her. I have 2 nieces, I have a nephew, and they have nothing to do with any of this story because they're innocent. I think about them all the time, so I love you guys. And so, yeah, so I was adopted. I was born in Colombia. I was adopted at the age 2. Both of my sisters and my brother, we were all adopted by the same parents, and these are white American parents that adopted us. They came down in 1998, and they just wanted a toddler. They just wanted me personally, but because they were told that I had siblings, then they didn't want to break us apart, which, no matter what they've done throughout the years, I am so grateful that they never split us up. But at the same time, I don't talk to my siblings anymore anyways. Long story short, we grew up best friends, all 4 of us. We were all 4 best friends growing up. We told each other everything, or from what we thought, but in reality, there was a lot of secrets that were being kept, and we never really shared those with one another until we became full-grown adults. So back around 2020, 2021, around COVID area was when my adopted parents had came from traveling, because they've been traveling for months prior to me coming out and telling my story. I was 25. I was 25 years old. I'm 28 now. I was 25 when I came out, and I had told my adopted mother what my adopted father had done to me. And she did not believe me. She did not want to believe me. Not that she didn't believe me, because I feel like she's always known what he was doing behind closed doors. But she was the type of mom that, not that she didn't care, she chose the man that she's been married to for 20 plus years. She chose him than her adopted children. So I had already packed my things up and I was ready to go. So the abuse itself, like I said, happened when I was 13. From what I remember, I was freshly 13. So it was, once I hit teenage years, and a teenager, they're excited to be a teenager. They're not really considered a child anymore, even though they really still are a child. But you moved on to the next part of your life, and that's teenage years. And I remember just like sitting there, and it didn't, when it happened so quickly that I myself did not even really know what was going on. Like, in a 13-year-old state of mind, you don't know anything that's going on. And children do not really, some children will speak up, and the adults have to take consideration and look more into it, but a lot of adults don't, and they just let it slide by. But a lot of teenage kids, like myself, I was one of them, I never said anything. I kept everything on hush mode until I turned 25. So from 13 to 25, I did not say anything for all of those years. So you can only imagine, you know, me, when my mind and everything was developing, and because I started life at a later age, I didn't really start in an early age, I started later. So a lot of the drinking, a lot of the smoking and stuff happened when I was older, like 19. Then some people who I know started when they were like 15 or 14. I was going through some really tough times around that time. It happened for 3 years, and it happened in a semi-bigger home. They always had, I'm gonna call them J. I do have another video on like the whole story, if it, like, broken down kind of. I'm in this video, I'm kind of just telling you guys the most, or like the biggest points that not only I can remember, because I can really remember all of it if I sat down and really dug through my mental state. But I'm in a good mood, you know, like it's a great day. I don't really want to go back and like relive it all playing throughout my head, but I'm just telling you guys right now, like, the bigger points, so you guys get it, than like having to go back. If you are curious, I'll put like little screenshots of the of my videos around here somewhere, and it literally goes into depth with the whole thing if you are curious about that. If not, then stick to this video. The major points will be coming out just to let those who are new here a little bit more about who I am and why I am how I am, or how I am where I am because of what I've went through. It happened in a small town. It was called Locust Grove, Virginia. And Locust Grove, it was very, very close to Culpeper, Virginia. And like on my ID, it would say Culpeper, Virginia, but we were still in Locust Grove, Virginia. It was like at the very end. It's crossing between Culpeper and Locust Grove, but we were living in Locust Grove. My ID say Culpeper. Anyways, that's besides the point. So it was in Locust Grove, Virginia. I went to Orange County High School. That is where I went for all 4 of my years of my high school experience. And middle school was when it took place, and I was going to Locust Grove Middle School. And you know, I like I said, it happened, from what I remember, it happened like summer break, or it happened when I knew that I wasn't going to school the day after. Like, it would happen throughout summer break. No one was really around. They were around, but they weren't around. We used to be like a family that would separate in each room. The homes, they always lived in big homes. It was always 3-story homes. It had many, many rooms. And so like my sisters would be in their room. My brother would be out with friends, or he'd be in the basement. My brother and I used to stay in the basement. That's where our rooms were. My adopted mother would be in her room. She usually keeps the door locked sometimes. So it was definitely around, when it took place, it was around a time that no one was around. They were around, but they weren't around. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had already known, all of them, if they've already known what was going on, and they just never said anything. Because I'm going to say the adopted father, my adopted father, but I don't want to say my anymore, so I'll just say the adopted father. So the adopted father, he would wait until no one was around, and that's when the abuse would usually start taking place. And I'm gonna get into the abuse in just a little bit, but it was a tough time. It was a very tough time. I remember I was a very, very quiet child. I had my head down a lot. I would look on the floor a lot. I wouldn't say much, and the adoptive parents would always just be like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? Like, you can tell us anything. Is it school? Like, what's going on? I just remember that time. It was nighttime, and I don't know where everyone was that day, but this is where it all started taking place. So how it started was, it was nighttime from what I remember, and it was in the hallway of the house. It was like in a hallway. I'll try to look online to see if I can, so I can literally show you guys the setup of what it looked like too. So it was in the hallway, and it was the hallway blocking the stairs going upstairs to my sister's room, and then to the left side was the dining room. They had two dining rooms in that household, and this one was more of the dining room that had like the bigger oval table, and that's where we used to have like big family get-togethers, like gatherings, from holidays, Christmas, and stuff like that. That's where we usually sat and ate. The other dining room was where we usually just ate regular dinner, like all six of us. So two of my sisters, my brother, I, then adopted mother, adopted father. That was the family, and many animals. People would always ask, do you live on a farm? Because we had so many animals at that time, but a lot of the dogs were kept outside, so there wasn't really a lot of noise inside. There were cats outside, there were dogs outside, but anyways, so it took place right there along the hallway, and there was a fish tank. There was a fish tank right in the middle of the hallway, as well as a closet that you put your jackets and stuff. So right on the left side of the fish tank, once you come through the front door, that is exactly where it all took place. And I just remember playing like a game with him. It was an innocent game of catch the kid or whatever. It was like, and I would run around, because from right there where the hallway was, you can go down the hallway, and then you see the living room, then you go around, you see the dining room, then you go around, you see the kitchen, and then you go around, you see that dining room, and then you come back to where you were in the beginning. That is how the house was like laid out. So I remember running around in a circle, because he was like chasing me. But as a 13-year-old little boy, I'm thinking like, oh, my father is like, we're just having a good time with just like, him try to chase me. And then once he gets me, then he just shows me the love like a father is supposed to show a child, not any other type of love. But that's all I was probably going through my 13-year-old head. So once he grabbed me from the back, I would never forget this moment. Once I got back to the beginning, and he was probably like sneaking around through the back, because my back was turned right here to the side. So in the front of me, I'm seeing the stairs going up. I'm seeing on the left side, I'm seeing the hallway that I'm standing at, and I'm peeking through the fish tank to try to see where he's at. So I like stood right there, and he was literally coming around. It was like a horror movie, literally like a horror movie. He came around, and he grabbed me like this. I remember him grabbing me like this to keep me steady. So I stayed put. I stayed like this put. And then I just remember him just slowly started just touching on me. He would slowly start touching on me in the front area, because he was behind me. And I don't know what my little 13-year-old self was thinking at the time. I have no idea. But keep in mind, I started puberty. I guess I don't really know exactly first started, but I never knew. Warning, it is going to get graphic. Just letting you guys know it's going to get graphic, okay? So, 13 years old, I never knew what it was to like play with yourself or any of that. I had an older brother, 6 years older, 6 years older than me, and he never really taught me anything. I was never really taught about sex, and so when this man would be touching on me, it like your body reacts to it, and then you get aroused. Sorry, it's my trash can. You get aroused, and once you get aroused, then you know what happens, right? And that's the very first time that it ever happened like that, because I had no idea what was going on. I was like, what is going on? Like, what is coming out of me? I had no idea what was coming out of me. And it came out. And it was like, it's so sad, because I basically had an orgasm from like a 49-year-old man. I think he was 49. He was like around 49, 48. Around a 49-year-old man who was someone that I would put on papers in school as my hero. Because all throughout like pre-K, when I was a little teeny tiny boy, I would always put my dad as my hero, because I just remember him, graduating from college. He went back to get a master's, because at that point they had income, but it wasn't like the income that they got or that they have now. So he went back to school. He got his master's, and then he was able to go back into the school board system, and he ended up being a principal. He was a superintendent, and he went from like I think it was a history teacher, an English teacher, I think it was history teacher, to then graduating with a master's, to then getting all this money that he had gotten to support us. So it's like, in one hand, an outsider looking in one hand, you see a father who loves his children. And I say that because whenever we would go out and we'd all be in like a big family, the outsiders would look in and be like, oh my gosh, this is the best family ever. Like, they all love each other. Their parents want what's best for them. And I can't knock them for that. Even though what happened had happened, I cannot knock them for not wanting the best for us, you know what I mean? Because they were those parents that pushed us to get that degree, that high school diploma, and I had to go back to advanced diploma. And my mental state, I mean, my brain shouldn't have been going through all that. I'm blessed that I got it, but at the same time, it was very, very hard, especially because I'm more on the autistic side. I should have been put into not as advanced classes, but they always saw me be that advanced child, like my sister, like my oldest sister. But so anyways, so that was where it started. That is where the whole thing started. 13 years old. So keep in mind, you guys, before 13, I was just a child, just having a great time. And see, I don't really remember what happened before 13, just because there's like 13 was where it all took place. Before 13, I don't remember a lot of things. And see, I have my second grade yearbook. I still have my second grade yearbook. And I will never forget, just having the 4 friends that They were like my buddies. They were really, really good. And when what had taken place, see, because we moved when I think I was like 10 years old. We had moved from where we were staying at, which was Martinsville, Virginia. We were living in Martinsville, Virginia, and I met my 4 friends there. Then he got a better job because he went to get his master's. He got a better job, and we had to move from Martinsville to Locust Grove, Virginia. So I lost my 4 really good friends. To then we moved to Locust Grove, Virginia, and that was where everything took place. So all the abuse in the 3 years, because it happened for 3 years. I was 16 when it stopped, and I don't remember if I just stopped coming around. And what I mean by that is when it was taking place, it happened most of the time when no one was around. So like I can list off the different rooms that the abuse was taking place. It took place in it took place in the bed of my adopted mother's room, because see, they never slept in the same bedroom. He would always sleep on the couch. She has a room and she'd always sleep on the bed. And she'd always lock the door. She would lock the door, or she would just shut the door. Like that's how they slept. He slept on the couch, she slept on the bed. But he would make a big excuse saying like the only reason he slept on the bed was because he didn't want to wake her up in the mornings to go to work or whatever. You know, just some random ass lie excuse. So the bed, the shower, the closet, the couch in the living room, the kitchen, the dining room with the oval table, the hallway, that's where it started, the basement where my brother and I sleep, happened in the basement, the garage outside, because the garage was separate from the house, the garage, and I think that's it. 9 different places I personally can remember where it took place. And it's like I was not that I really got told to meet him there, but it's like, I don't know, like I didn't want to make him upset, you know, because he was the authority, grown-up figure, guardianship, whatever. He was my father, you know. I'd known him as my father. I didn't know him of like an adopted father. I was just like, he's my dad, you know. And so I didn't want to make him upset. What does a 13-year-old boy do? They don't want to make their father upset, so they do what their father is wanting them to do. And that is what I did. So all these different places that it took place, I was following him, and I was getting lured into doing it. When it happened on the couch, I will never forget this story. My sister, one of my sisters, she was sitting on the side chair, and she'd be sitting there watching Bolt. We were watching Bolt, the animation cartoon movie, and I was laying on the far left side of the couch. He was laying on the far right side. He was normally sleeping on the right side of the couch. That's where he always slept, like every night. I was laying on the left side. And there was a blanket over us, and he would slowly start guiding his hand up my leg until it got near my private area. And whenever my sister would turn to look, the blanket would just stop moving. So it's like there's no way she didn't know what was going on. There's no way. There was too many times that it was taking place that no one saw it. I feel like they've all known. And I feel like it's happened to them too, but I'm the only one that had really wanted the justice for myself. So she would look and she'd like laugh and be like, "Did you see that or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah," red face. I didn't know how to feel at the time. So then there was another night that I remember when it happened in the dining room with the oval table. It was near the window, right there on the far left. When you're looking at the dining room, it's the far left of the table in that corner. And there was a hutch. There was like a big hutch in the far, far back of the dining room. There was a hutch right there, and it was right in front of the hutch. And my brother had came down from upstairs because I guess he was spending time with our sisters and stuff. So he came down, and once the adopted father had heard the door open and started hearing stairs come down, or hear feet come down the stairs, he jumps up really quick. I'm over there like this. I'm naked. I'm like hovering like this because I had to hide or whatever. I had to not be seen. So when he was coming down, I was crouched down like this, like in fetal position, and the adopted father gets up, and he may have had his underwear on or whatever, but my brother just found it like weird. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you naked in the dining room? But from what I've known, my brother never saw me, right? But I really think he did. But if you see these things happening to anyone, it doesn't even just have to be family, wouldn't you say something? This is when I say, you guys, my family was portrayed as like the best family out there. Everyone got along. I was best friends with my siblings. I loved my parents. They loved us. They wanted what's best for us. Other parents would, I guess, get jealous, or they would definitely look up to the adopted parents. That would definitely look up to them because they saw how maybe well we were all doing. We never really got in trouble in school. We couldn't get in trouble. I had to be on my best A's and Q's in school. And so they were looking in like, this is a really, really perfect, amazing, good family. But little do they know, you have no idea what is going on behind closed doors. And this was a house in the middle of the woods. There was one other house right next to us. There was no houses on the right side. You had to go down the road, further down the road before you've reached to another house. So it was literally a house that felt like it was secluded almost by trees, just trees everywhere around you. And then the garage, pool in the back, playground in the back, all that was theirs. So you can only imagine the atmosphere that would have been in that household at that time when you could get away with a lot of stuff. And it wasn't like it was an apartment complex. In apartment complexes, people can still get away with a lot of stuff, but not really so much outside. So you know what I mean. But anyways, so yeah, it was just a secluded home, a few houses right next to it. It was like it was a dirt road. There was nothing in front. It was very easy to get away with some certain things. Now, I want to let you guys know this real quick. When I had said that I didn't know anything before 13, I remember living in Fredericksburg, Virginia. That was the very first place we moved to after we became adopted by them. We went straight to Fredericksburg, Virginia, and it was it was a nice home. And I remember the neighbor was an old man, probably like 80s, 70s. around that time, he was like in the 70s. I don't know if he's still alive today, but he was like around 70s. And I will never forget, my adopted parents never told us, or I felt like as though we couldn't really go out and like play with the neighbors around the neighborhood. We couldn't really make friends with the kids around the neighborhood. And when you're a child, so I was younger. I might have been like 9, 8 years old at this time. And I will never forget, they had told my sister and I that we were allowed to go to the neighbor's home. And this was the old man. And we would go over there and we would eat ice cream. And this was like, we just thought that the ice cream was the best thing ever. So like nowadays, 2025, you see a 7-year-old child going to an 80-year-old man's home to eat ice cream. And you're the parent to say that it's okay for them to do that. You know the old person. From what I remember, they said that they knew him, but they never hung out outside of just us going over there. Like my sister and I, we were able to go over there, but we wouldn't be able to spend time with the kids around the neighborhood. Very, very mighty suspicious. I can't even say suspicious. No, suspicious. And so that was weird. You know, my sister and I, we never really talked about that until the story came out. So yeah, you guys. Wait, hold on. I forgot these weren't on. But anyways, so where did I stop off? Tell me that wasn't like the weirdest thing. You know what I mean? Like if I was a parent, if I had kids of my own, I would not just allow them to go to a stranger's home. You know what I mean? No matter how trustworthy you may think that they are. So I don't know if anything may or may not have happened when her and I used to go over there. See, there's a reason why I believe that she did not want to personally, like we were excited. I mean, we were happy when he would say that he had to work late. We were happy when he said that he had to work late because, you know, he was working for the school board. He was working as a principal. He was superintendent. Like, he would always say how he had to... I hear my cat. Hold on. But yeah, he would say how he had to always work late. So my sister and I... Come here. This is my little kitty cat. He's my kitty cat, he's my baby. I've always thought that it was weird. I've always thought that it was very strange, but at the same time, I never got to the point until I became an adult where I really sat back and thought to myself, like, so that was that. There's a reason for everything, and whenever I had came out and told my siblings what had happened, they believed me. They didn't want to believe me, but they believed me. But they didn't care so much to really be on my side. And this is a big reason, this is probably the biggest reason why I do not speak to them nowadays. I do not have any contact with both my sisters nor my brother. Like I said, I reached out to one of my sisters. I let her know that I loved her, I was thinking about her, I cared for her, but I cannot keep doing this with them. They'd rather choose an abuser than their own brother. So I guess the biggest point of this video is, if you want, like I said, I do have like a little playlist on my story on what had happened. I'm not deleting any of these videos because I already know in 5 years, 10 years from now, when I come back and I rewatch some of my videos, because I do rewatch my videos, When I come back and rewatch them, I'm going like it's gonna show me how much I have grown, how much I have accomplished, and that will be the day that I'll just be so proud of myself. I'm already proud of myself now, but so I guess this wraps up the video. If you are curious about something, if you would like to ask me something personally about anything that you have experienced, or it could be any abuse, honestly. I've went through, like I said, I've went through emotional abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. Most of my life was mental abuse. And if you'd like to share anything with me personally, I can leave my email right here. I haven't been checking my emails for a few days now, but I will check them. If you would like to email me anything that you feel most comfortable with letting me know. Don't email me something that you don't yourself feel comfortable with telling me. But I've experienced a lot of abuse, and if I could just even help one person out there, that I'm set. What I've wanted to do in life has been accomplished, because I love helping people. I want to help people with any type of abuse that they may have encountered or experienced or is going through now. There's many people who suffer with abuse, and yeah, I guess I'm like an open book. If you would like to leave a comment in my down below, please be nice. Please be nice to each other. Please be nice to me. Please be nice to yourself, because this is going to remain on this channel maybe for a lifetime. I don't know, however long YouTube will have its platform up. So I hope that if you did make it to the end of this video, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because my story means a lot to me, and I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I want to share it, because I am 28. I'll be 29 very soon. You know, like I don't want to keep it to myself anymore. I feel like it deserves to be put out there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please share it. And I say that because I really want others who feel as though they do not have a voice check this video out and be like, he did it. And you guys, I did do it. I had to do all of this figuring out in my life on my own, for the most part. On occasions of like my spouse, a few friends along the way who had gotten me over it, I will thank them also. And you guys, I would like, and please give yourself a pat on the back, because the fact that I'm sharing this with you guys in our community, because y'all deserve to know more about me, and I'd rather get a lot of the personal things out of the way, so then we can move on with this channel and do other things. And I feel like since I've gotten a lot more of you guys, I would like to share this with you guys now, just in case y'all never go back to see the older videos. I do recommend though, because I go through like the whole timeline. So you would definitely know a lot more. But All right, well, I guess I am wrapping up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking my videos. You guys have no idea how much this not only helps me out, it helps you all out. It helps my growth, my journey, my goals. And my goals in life is I want to share my story, and I am grateful for you all allowing me to do that. If any negatives do pop up, I may or may not delete them, just because, I don't know. I don't want this to be a negative channel, but for some reason, the negative comments help you out too. So if there's negative comments, there's negative comments. I may or may not delete them. I don't know. It's my channel. It's our channel. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so it can allow y'all when the next time I post. I had no idea even what the bell notification was. I probably know now what it was not long ago. I really didn't know what that bell notification was, to be honest. And I've been watching YouTube for like 12 years now, maybe 11. It's crazy, you guys. All right, that is it. That's wrapping up the video. Like I said, if you have a comment, leave it down below. I answer all comments. And I'll see you guys, in the next video. Bye, you guys.